I feel like a lot of people try to just deal with it themselves in the moment.
Disappear? Or
No.
they were vaulting back and forth?
Yeah, they kept vaulting over the... Like, he had to do it again! Like, just stop vaulting! That didn't save you.
Gonna waste all their energy.
Melee takedowns are silent and will not alert. I've been through it. Give them something new. They should really have tip screens that, like, change.
Or
Like-
yeah.
Like in the beginning, like the first few levels, these sets of tips. And the next few levels, another set of tips. And the later levels, don't have them.
Or if you
Tell me a funny joke.
Every time I see screens like this, I really feel like if you didn't go through the tutorial, you just skip past it. It's the game's way of poking at you like, you dumb idiot. You should have watched the tutorial.
You can't skip the tutorial. It's a level. It's a level that teaches you. Yeah, that would make sense if you had the option to skip, and then you kept dying, and they were like, "Hey, did you know you could like do this thing?" And it was like, no, I skipped the tutorial. But in a lot of the games, it's just like you learn everything first mission.
How shall we execute you? You
What?
are aware of the penalty for terrorism in Russia.
Who's the traitor in your government? What do you know
Oh, no, this kind of makes sense.
Why did you set off the golden eye?
Stop it! Both of you! You are like boys with toys.
Oh, that's actually a line from the movie, Boys with Toys, yeah.
General Orumov.
Also, the scene's done much better in the movie. The person interrogating you is like, not the prime minister, but he's ahead of the government, and he's interrogating you,
There he is.
and,
Michkin. How dare you interrogate this man without my presence? This man is a spy who killed Minister Mishkin. With his
Okay.
own gun.
this is so butchered. But it's not a big deal. It's close enough. Wait, what? That... I kind of see what they were going for, but it's a lot more lackluster than the movie. In the movie... Okay, so, you
In
know
Russia,
how...
those tables are bulletproof.
In Russia, table... I don't know. So, you know how in
Nice
Harry
try.
Potter... No, it wasn't. Don't lie to me. Don't you patronize me. So, in you know how in Harry Potter, in Goblet of Fire, in the book, Dumbledore's like, "Hey, Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?" And Harry's like, "No." And Dumbledore's like, "Cool." And in the movie, it was like, that kind of like what just happened, where in the movie, they're like arguing back and forth, but the head of the government doesn't stand up and point a gun at James. They're just being loud, and first of all, Bond is like, "You're bad at interrogating," and he's like, "I don't think so." And then they're arguing, and Natalia speaks up, and is like, "Oh, stop like yelling at each other," and then she gives up the information, and he's like, "Who's bad at interrogating now?" Like it was actually a planned move to get her to talk by yelling at James, and it was like, "Oh, cool." And then what's his name comes in, the actual villain, who we just saw, comes in, and he's like, "Oh, he's a traitor and he's a spy." And the guy's like, "No, you are." And he's like, "No, but he like," and they go back and forth for a little bit before the head of the government is arguing with the army general or lieutenant or whatever rank he is, and he's yelling at him to like put the gun down. And then that's when he kills both of them. Like, it takes a bit for that to happen. It doesn't
Can we
immediately.
just point out, why do the Russians put so much time and effort into these ducks?
Well, they need air to move around. It gets very stuffy.
I mean, if you look at some of the World War II bunkers, they didn't have this many ducks.
Yeah. But did they have a lot of ducks?
Oh, there were plenty of mallards.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, let me record this real quick. That's also not how audio recordings work. Whatever. It's fine.
Oh, man.
It's like, man, I got to record this audio file that's 2 hours long. It's like, oh, just point your phone at it for a second and it will capture. All of it? Yeah. Am I downloading it? No, you're like an audio recording.
Who was it? Q?
Yeah, Q.
Q.
And earlier movies it was R. And it was changed because I think Q means quartermaster and R meant something else. And I forget why it changed.
Well, whoever was making the technology for this one, he was really thinking ahead. He's like, in the future, you can take a picture and it will record everything you see.
Yeah.
And-
or hear. Yeah. Like audio, like instantaneously. It's like, how does that work? It's like, oh, no. I didn't
It's as
come
great
up
of
with it.
invention as the clap-on light.
Yeah, clap on. Speaking of silly Bond gadgets and things, obviously every movie has like a silly thing about it. I forget what movie. It's a Pierce Brosnan film. I want to say it's Tomorrow Never Dies. Maybe it's The World Is Not Enough. But I vaguely remember they meet in like this underground bunker or something.
You sure it wasn't a layer?
No, it was like a bunker. I think it's when he gets the Aston Martin V12 Vanquish, and Q says they call it the Vanquish, I call it the Vanish, and it's like invisible, and that's one of the things about it. Not what I want to talk about. Prior to that, they're
was
walking
when
through.
John Cleese was cast
Yes.
as Q for the first time. The other
Yep.
man who had done, I think, all of the Bonds.
Yeah, he passed away.
By the way, I couldn't think of a better person to step into a more
John Cleese, yeah.
sarcastic role for that.
Oh yeah. Oh, a couple things that you just reminded me of, but in that movie, Bond is walking through a facility that has a bunch of old Bond tech. In one of them is the old jetpack, and he goes, "Does this still work?" And he just touches it, and it starts to go off. And John Cleese is like, "Would you stop that?" Like that's one of the things about Bond is anytime he's with Q, he just touches stuff. He just messes with things, and Q yells at him. And in GoldenEye, like
The
pen.
the pen.
the pen.
Let's not be stupid, Mr. Bond or
No.
007.
That's not what I was going to talk about. But that is a thing where they do the pen thing. I think it's relatively safe. He's like, what's the pen? And he's like, oh, it's an explosive. And then he demonstrates it.
Did you just see the shadow on the ground over there?
No.
It looked like there was a shadow on the ground running towards you, and it was clearly the guy above you.
Oh, maybe it just glitched. Like
It
the
seemed
lighting
like
thing
it-
glitched.
It seemed like it glitched.
Yeah, maybe. But at the end of the scene where he's describing all the stuff, Bond picks up this like sandwich and he's like, "What's this?" He's like, "Don't! It's my lunch." And I'm just like, "What is this movie?" God, it's so silly. Ugh, I also hate this mechanic. So you have this phone that like supposedly helps you identify like extra objectives, but like I'm tilting the controller so hard to the right, that's the movement speed. This is the gun movement speed. Just have them be the same. I can't easily search for things
Well,
like this going so slow. It just doesn't make sense.
well, you need to pick up information. You need to be thorough about it.
I need to be yeah, but I can scan it very quickly and then get a glimpse of because there's an icon that pops up.
Now you're just
on the
asking for
HUD.
too much, man.
Yeah, how dare I want the game to work? Mm-hmm. I know it's dumb to complain about a game that came out on the Xbox. Like, where were all these guys 5 seconds ago? Is this a different room? This might be a different room. What? I don't. Yeah, whatever. Can I? Well, that doesn't really help me, but I can shoot at it.
Well, he was just looking around the corner.
He's like, "Is my shoe untied?" Oh God, I'm dead.
I'm sure he was just as surprised as he made it out to be. Give me that.
Yeah. That guy yelled real loud for someone who just got knocked out. I think it was Chris Lee, actually. We were talking about Chris Lee earlier. Not on an episode, just in general. And someone was directing him, I think, for Lord of the Rings. No, not Lord of the Rings. A war movie. And Christopher Lee has actually been to war, and he has been stabbed before. So when the director was like, "Oh yeah, when you get stabbed, yell," and he's like, "You don't yell when you get stabbed, you gasp." And it's like a because like you don't know how to process it. You don't scream. That's not a thing. And I'm like, oh man, that's super dark, but like cool, but also like, man, it sucks that you know that.
Yeah.
It's one of the things like I don't want to know that information, or have to learn about that firsthand the hard way.
I think that's where the picture comes in. No, apparently not.
No, it's fine. Also, that kind of comes into play in, I think it's like Batman Year One. Speaking of Batman, hello, where's the red button?
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Batman Year One, they're trying to suss Batman out to like capture him because he's a vigilante. And
I didn't know that.
what?
Go back. There was an electrical box in there.
Oh, I just missed it.
Right there, on your left. Literally on your left. Nothing? Oh.
Oh, this. No, I think it's just a decoration. Maybe I can wires? No, I don't know. But yeah, so he's patrolling the streets, and there's a woman who is running away from some bad guys, and she screams. Batman's there just watching her scream, and he just sits there and he's like, that's not how that happens. And then sure enough, she stops after a little while, and she pulls out a walkie, and she's like, he's not taking the bait. And I'm like, interesting. Because, like, yeah, that probably is not... Sure, let's just have a phone call.
In the middle of a game?
Yeah. Oh, that might be, what's his name?
I'll get back to you.
I don't know who that was. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I've been killing a bunch of guys. But yeah, I assume how that would normally happen is, like, not that exciting. Like, it'd be traumatic for sure, but I don't think it'd be like, oh, all the things... Like, everyone processes trauma in a different way, and it's normally not that. Some people, sure, but I think for the majority of the time, it's not so much someone screaming like that. It might be more like specifically yelling for help or trying to deal with the situation yourself. I feel like a lot of people try to just deal with it
Did he
themselves
just, like,
in the moment.
disappear? Or
No.
they were vaulting back and forth?
Yeah, they kept vaulting over the... Like, he had to do it again! Like, just stop vaulting! That didn't save you.
Gonna waste all their energy.
They're
Save
like,
it for the fight.
man, I'd love... Oh, these people are strapped. Man, I'd love to hold this gun, but my arms are so tired right now. I wonder why. Oh, maybe it's because you've been propelling 210 pounds over a bookshelf for no reason.
Those guys seem just as easy to kill as the regular guys. And they're all padded up.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know this, but bulletproof vest only does so much.
Bullets, my only weakness.
Yeah. Oh,
What movie?
God. I don't... hold on. Police Academy.
Nope,
Did it have Leslie Nielsen in it? Is it Naked Gun?
nope. But it's
Is it
similar
within
humor,
that vein, same vein?
same vein, newer.
Newer.
I would say definitely between 2000 and 2010.
Oh, did I see it?
You if you didn't see it, you had to have known about it.
What was it?
You want me to just tell you, or do you
Yeah.
want some hints?
Oh no, give me some hints. This will be a fun game. I'm sorry.
White Castle.
What? You look at that on the map? They're there. They're gone. There. Gone. That. Gone. That. Gone. They just don't exist.
Huh.
I literally think they're despawning. This game's a little janky. White Castle. When does that happen in White Castle? It's been a while since I saw the movie.
No, that's not the movie. That's a hint.
Oh. The hint is White Castle.
Yep.
White Castle 2.
No.
Harold and Kumar 2.
Harold and Kumar. Yeah.
3.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. You got it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was it.
Wait. No, hold on, you jerk. So your clue was to just give me half of the movie title?
No, I forgot when I said it. I forgot
You
that it was
said
in there.
White Castle.
I said, yeah. What?
And then I said, oh, so White Castle. It's been such a long time since I saw the movie. And then this is 10 seconds ago. Then you said, no, that's just the hint. And I was like, okay, Harold and Kumar 2?
You didn't say Harold and Kumar, though. You just said White Castle.
It doesn't matter.
It
does not
it does matter.
White Castle is close enough to the
But
movie.
you saw. All right, fine. You win. Fine. So
That was a dumb clue.
You know where the quote came from.
I know the movie. I don't remember the scene.
Okay, so the cop that keeps
happens.
chasing them around, they have like some trip after taking whatever they take, and they.
Oh yeah, is that where they ride the tiger, or is that way
Yeah,
later?
yeah,
Oh, shoot.
and
I
they
died.
run into the guy, and he's like dancing. He's like, "Oh, bullets, my only weakness. How'd you know?" So, speaking of older Star Wars movies, did you? So, I don't know if you've done anything with Disney Plus recently. Just look at what they've been adding, but they have older animated and live action
Disney. Sorry, Star Wars.
Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
They have a whole movie about the Ewoks.
What?
They have a whole movie about the Ewoks that I never recall.
An older movie.
An older movie. Yeah.
It's an older movie, but it checks
It's an
out.
older movie. It wasn't directed by Lucas, but it's clearly a Star Wars movie, and it follows an Ewok village, living in the Ewok village, on Endor.
What?
There was another one.
Is it like a full feature length, or is it a short?
I think it's at the very least 30
And
minutes.
it's old. It's not like a new thing.
No, it's definitely not a new thing. It was like, it looks 80s to me.
That's so weird.
After Sindel and Mace are separated from their parents, courageous Ewoks aid in returning them.
Does it have and it has the year on it that it's like an old thing?
1984. It's an hour and 36 minutes long.
That's a movie. You could argue that's a long TV show or like a two-parter TV show, but
There's
that's a movie.
There's another one, Ewoks: The Battle for Endor. It's a Star Wars vintage. The adventures of Ewoks continue as Wicket and his friends confront the evil marauders.
Wicket.
Wicket is the one that's his name. He's the one who runs into Leia.
Oh, or she gives him like a candy bar or something.
Yep.
It's not a candy. It's
And then they have
it's
like
a power bar.
an Ewoks anime.
Anime.
Oh my god, they look like the gummy bears. Remember the gummy bears?
I never watched it.
Well, it looks like you know the animation though.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it really does. Yeah.
was
Was it the same? Oh my god, yeah. It was like a ghost that just walked above me. Like on the ground.
You saw that?
Yeah, there was a shadow. There was a shadow that phased through the floor. Oh shoot. Phased through the floor.
So yeah, it was 2 seasons and it ran from 85 to 86. Join your favorite furry Star Wars heroes and the Ewoks in an action-packed animated series.
Favorite?
Each season had 13 episodes.
Wow. How many seasons?
2.
That's pretty good.
And then they have the story of the faithful Wookiee, which is definitely it says 2021, but
I can't make a Wookiee noise. So I'll just pretend I'm making the Wookiee noises, but these are the subtitles. That was the title, the faithful Wookiee.
So you could see that it's clearly older animation.
No, that looks totally new.
But it says 2021, so someone clearly
I think sometimes what happens when they upload them, it's
They
like the
forget to change
upload date.
yeah.
But
So this is only 9 minutes long. It's a 9-minute. So faithful for only 9 minutes.
Were you faithful to me? For 9 minutes, I was. You were gone for 2 days. I know. I'm not proud of it.
So those are like if you look up
I'm not proud of it.
if you look up the vintage Star Wars, and then here's a 2D micro series.
Oh, I got it.
That one's just very strange animation.
Oh,
It's
sure.
an Emmy award-winning animated series.
Really? Well, I think The Hobbit was also an Emmy nominated or winning animated movie.
So something to check out. It's Star Wars, vintage Star Wars. And if you just type in Ewoks, it'll pop up.
Yeah, it probably would have been good for yesterday. We were talking about that. Tea Time Gaming was talking about that, and I was chatting in their chat.
Did they chat back?
Well, yeah. Like we're mutuals. We collab and do stuff together sometimes. And they were saying how there's no possible way that they could probably get enough people to do like Mario Party 2 because it would have to be like they're on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast and I was like, oh, do you guys have Parsec? And they were like, oh yeah, that's how we play some of our games. And I go, oh cool, I just downloaded it. And they were like, oh, we can get you in to do some arcade game stuff. And I'm like, yeah. So like we're
I thought Parsec was a form of measurement.
It is. That's the whole thing with the app because you're far away from each other and it closes the gap. And it also fits in with the whole like solo retconning of what a parsec is. Mm-hmm. Where he's like, I did it in under 12 parsecs. And someone was like, how the hell do we just explain that mistake? And their explanation is like, he took a shortcut that like previously wasn't accessible and really shouldn't have been because it's really hard to do. And it's like, okay, sure. Like, I'm okay with that. Did I get the...
It was the Kessel run, right?
He did the Kessel run in under 12 parsecs. Where everyone thought, like, oh, he meant time, but I think George might have. But I don't know. We were having a conversation about how George Lucas is just a crazy person. And
crazy person who made a lot of money.
Yeah, who did a lot of things by accident, it seems.
And only took one take for the entire Star Wars original trilogy.
Really?
Well,
that
that's
makes
what
sense.
it looks like sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Phantom Menace, and there's multiple things, and you're like, I would have done a different take for that.
Yeah, it's they were talking about how like he didn't have the budget at the time to do the things he wanted. He had a vision, but then didn't have enough money to do all those things, and I get that. But in Troy from Tea Time Gaming was saying how like that's fine. Have the things that you want to do, and if you're able to do them later, cool. But don't rush them, and don't put them in and make it look bad, because that's what all the things are now. It's like he added some sort of like alien creature into the scene in the beginning when they go to Mos Eisley. Them being Obi-Wan and Luke. And, well, that's going to explode.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I really like, and I have, I think, both versions of the VHSs. The ones where they were re-released in the 90s.
Uh-huh.
And then after they remastered the series and came out with them in theaters. So I have 2 sets of VHS at home somewhere. Which I have no VCR, but my point is you could watch the original cuts, and when they're in the desert in episode 4 and the stormtroopers are looking for the lost droids, you get this sense of just, okay, they landed on a planet that has nothing. It's barren.
Yeah. Where did they shoot this? In the desert.
But it
was cheap.
When they remastered it, they added those weird bantha things in the background, and the stormtroopers are riding, which was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, it doesn't add to anything. It's just kind of cool looking. George Lucas is like, oh, it doesn't fit. My original vision had these in it. It's like, that's great. Can you let your, I don't know if impetus is the right word, his ego aside?
Hubris.
Hubris. Can you let that down for a second and realize the movie's fine and you don't need to touch it anymore? That'd be cool.
Yeah, he was just running with his gun, shooting backwards. Did you see that? That was good.
Yeah. Not George Lucas. No. I thought you were trying to make some sort of weird metaphor, and I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I get. Where are you going with this, Mike? Oh no, the enemy in the game. Yeah, he was just doing that literally.
So there were just things that he kept adding, and I was like, why? There doesn't need to be multiple layers. There is this thing called negative space.
Oh my god.
And you can utilize it, and you did in the original ones. Original cuts like almost perfectly, I think.
It was clear that he was a sales rep in a previous life. Is what you're saying.
So
how do we get more information into this 2-inch by 2-inch ad? You don't. The paragraph you gave me only fits in that box. I can't add anything else.
It was funny.
Excuse me. Allergies. Oh, that was the end. Nice.
Destroy the servers. Failed.
It doesn't matter. I don't think it does. I think it's an optional thing. It was funny. Now, in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, we'll be back with a continuation of whatever Mike was saying, if he remembers. If you really like this video, give it a like, and if you super like this video, subscribe so you'll know when the next one goes up. Hey, thanks for hanging out. We'll hang out again
Soon.
soon?
When will then be now?
Soon.